All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to unpack a really powerful text from the 20th century sage, Ramana Maharshi. It's this incredible dialogue that gets right to the heart of spiritual teaching. What is it really? Who can truly give it? And what does it take to actually receive it? So let's get into it. So, the original title of this work is Upadesa Manjari, which translates to a bouquet of spiritual instruction. And I just love that. The author didn't see these as some kind of dry, dusty rule book. Nope, he saw them as fragrant flowers, each one holding a unique bit of wisdom. So today, we're going to pick out some of the most essential blossoms from this collection. The way this whole thing is set up is actually as a conversation, a dialogue between a disciple and a master. And it kicks off with, honestly, maybe the most fundamental question for anyone on a spiritual path. How in the world do you recognize a genuine teacher? So this is really the starting block. The seeker is basically asking, how can I be sure? Amidst all the noise, what should I really be looking for in a guide? It's a question that just cuts right through all the superficial ideas about what a master is supposed to look or act like. And the answer we get is so interesting. The marks of a true master have absolutely nothing to do with flashy powers or charisma. It's all about an inner state of being. They are always abiding in the self, they see unity everywhere, and, this is a big one, they aren't obsessed with the idea of being enlightened. I mean, think about that for a second. The reason they have this unshakable firmness, this deep peace, is precisely because their focus isn't on some kind of performance, it's just on pure presence. Right, so a teaching isn't a monologue, it takes two, right? A teacher and a student. So it makes perfect sense that after talking about the master, the conversation naturally shifts to the other half of the equation, the disciple. And the next question is just as direct. What does it take to be a real student? What kind of inner state, what kind of preparation is needed to truly receive this kind of instruction? And the answer here, wow, it sounds so simple on the surface, but man, is it demanding. Just listen to the language here. Intense and incessant longing, a singular focus, no desire for anything else. We're not talking about a casual interest here, not some weekend hobby. The main qualification for a true disciple is this burning, all-consuming fire to be free, above and beyond everything else. It's total commitment. And when you put them side by side like this, you really see the core dynamic at play. On one hand, you have the master, who is in a state of unwavering being. It's a state of arrival, of stillness. And on the other hand, you have the disciple, who is in a state of intense, focused seeking, a state of movement, of becoming. One is the destination, and the other is the deeply committed journey towards it. Okay, so we've got our teacher, we've got our student, but what's the actual thing that's happening between them? What is the teaching? Well, this question takes us straight to the heart of the entire text. The text uses this specific Sanskrit word, upadesha. Now, we often just translate it as instruction or teaching, but its real, literal meaning, well, that's where things get really profound. And I mean, how beautiful is that? Spiritual instruction isn't about cramming your head with new information or new beliefs. It's a process of restoration. It's about taking your sense of self, which has maybe wandered off a bit, and gently guiding it back to where it truly belongs. And this restoration process, it kind of has two parts. First, the master's presence helps quiet the disciple's racing mind, bringing it back to its natural, peaceful state. And then the teaching reveals this massive truth. The self isn't some far-off goal you have to achieve someday. No, it's right here, right now. It is immediate, and it is identical to who you really are. The whole journey is just about realizing what was there all along. All right, so this is where the dialogue starts to wrap up. But instead of tying everything up with a nice, neat bow, we're left with this deep, challenging puzzle, one that kind of loops all the way back to the very beginning. So, let's just quickly recap the main point here. The whole teaching has established that the master is abiding as the self, and the whole point of the teaching is to show the disciple that they are that very same self. So, if they are fundamentally one and the same, then this ultimate question just pops up. If they're really one, why is the master's grace even necessary? If the truth is already inside the disciple, what role does an external teacher really play? And the text just drops that question on you. It doesn't answer it. It just lets it hang there in the air. And maybe that's the real teaching, right? Perhaps the greatest, most powerful instruction isn't some answer that you can write down and memorize. Maybe it's a question so profound that it stops your mind in its tracks, and it forces you to turn your attention inward to find the truth for yourself.